Hello lovely viewers of Skybase Network. I welcome you all to the first edition of The Viewpoint. I am Sammultimedia. On today's edition, we will be looking at dating, courtship and marriage. In our society today, many people fall in and out of relationships just because they don't understand what relationships are all about. On our show today, I have with me here a resource person. She's a marriage counselor, a teacher of the gospel, the CEO of Blissful Commitment. She holds a degree in management and psychology from the University of Ghana, Legon. She's a wife and a mother. She is Mrs. Philomena Abuja. You are welcome to the show, Mrs. Philomena.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, okay. I've been hearing dating. I would like to ask you, when we say dating, what is dating?
Dating is friendshipping. Dating is a planned activity between a young man and a young woman with the intention of getting to know each other better. That is what dating is all about. So you can have many friends of the opposite sex, and all your intention is just to get to know them, their personalities, their likes, their dislikes, what makes them behave the way they do and all that. And to make informed social relationships. That is what dating is all about. It helps you perfect your social skills. And with dating, you know, you should at least get to the age of 16 years before you determine that you want to date. Because dating is not for, you know, it's not a child's play. It involves a whole lot. You know, so if you are below the age of 16, then there's no reason for you to date. And then in dating, you know, people look at dating and they look at, you know, different things, but that is not what it's supposed to be. When you're dating, you're supposed to, you know, number one, inform your parents.
Okay.
You should inform your parents that you're dating someone. Your parents should get to know the person you want to date at that specific time. Okay? And then when you plan your activity, your parents should know where you're going to with that person. And then when dating, it should not be expensive.
Okay.
It shouldn't be expensive at all. So both of you can choose, the young man and the young woman can choose to go to a place that is not secluded. Okay? It's not, I am dating someone and I want to take the person to a hotel. No. It should be an open place where there are people. And then it should be done in groups. So if I have a date taking me out, I should have other people who are also going on a date. And then have wholesome recreation. That is what dating is all about.
Okay, so can someone date more than two people at the same time?
At the same time?
Yes.
Of course you can date. Because like I said before, you're only getting to know each other.
All right.
That is all, friendshipping, making friends.
Okay.
So you can choose to date 2, 3, 4 people. But even in dating, don't go out with one specific person too frequently, so that you don't get too used to that person and then it boxes your choices of making informed decisions when it comes to the opposite sex later. So you can choose to date many people in a very short time,
Okay.
just to get to know their personalities, the way they behave, the way they react to issues, and make good friends. That is what dating is all about.
Okay, so what are some of the tips or things you need to consider before you date someone? What are some of the things you need to do before you can date someone?
Okay, one of the things that one has to look at when considering dating someone is that you who wants to date should have a high moral standard. Okay, you must have a high moral standard. Don't be eager to date people who are ready to break rules, who would want to encourage you to go into sexual promiscuity, who want to encourage you to drink, to smoke, you know, who encourage you to do things that you're not supposed to do. Let me just put it in a nutshell. Anyone who would encourage you to disobey the laws of our Heavenly Father by wanting to sleep with you, by wanting to kiss you, necking and petting, those are people you should not go out with. You who wants to accept a date, you must also have a high moral standard for yourself. You should understand that you are a princess or you're a queen. And the man must understand that he is also a priest. He himself is also a king. So you behave and comport yourself in a very good way. You dress modestly, you look good, and then you must go to decent places, decent activities. Those are the things you should do. So and then you date someone who makes you feel good about yourself in a positive way. When I'm talking about making you look good feel good about yourself, I'm not talking about wanting to take you to bed. That is not dating. That is not dating. So we should leave those things, you know, behind. They're not things that the young ones in their 16s and 17s, you know, should want to go into, because the consequences that come with those things, you may not be able to bear them. So dating, when you're dating, be careful and be cautious. And that is why I said in the beginning, whoever you want to date, introduce that person to your family. Let your parents know who that person is.
But talking of that, you know, some of the parents nowadays, see these African parents, you going to your parent, man, this Kofi, I'm going out with Kofi. Kofi is my boyfriend. I'm trying to date Kofi. Before you finish talking, then your dad or your mom is on you. So people like, how are you going to do? How will you introduce your partner, your date partner to your parents? How are you going to do that if your parents are straight?
Well, like you just said, and I could see that when you were saying something like, Daddy, this is my boyfriend, you were cautious.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm a young girl and I'm dating a guy, okay, or I want to go out with a guy, obviously he's a boy. Yeah. So that makes him my boyfriend, but that doesn't make him my sleeping partner. Okay. We should get that right. And a boy who is dating a girl, that's his girlfriend. It doesn't make her his sleeping partner.
But
so we shouldn't
like that.
No, but we shouldn't misconstrue it. Okay. You know, we shouldn't. And then parents should be a bit soft when it comes to these things. Because for some of our parents, your kids are in boarding school. You don't even know what goes on in their schools. They spend more time at school, in boarding school, than they do at home. So you spend just little time with them at home. For those who are in school, for those who are, you know, attending boarding schools. Yeah. And then for other parents, most of the time you are at work. So you don't even have time for your children. But you know one thing I understand. The scripture tells us that we should train our children in the way that they should go. And when they grow up, they will not depart from it. When we teach our children gospel principles, when we teach them gospel standards, and we sort of push them, you know, and be there for them and help them to climb high in terms of their gospel principles and standards, they won't break any laws. And then you will have confidence that even if they bring someone and say, I am dating this person, you are confident that that child is not going to break any rules. So parents should be soft and teach the children, because you are not always there. They go to school, they have neighbors, they visit their friends. These friends have either brothers or sisters. You see, and anything can happen while you are not there. So when you're overly too strict, they won't talk to you. And that is where the problems are. Okay. So it is much better they come home with these people, introduce this young men or this young women to you in the family. You get to know them. You can also, as parents, interview them, get to know them, and probably from there get to know their parents.
Okay, so with that, we will break on that. We will go for a very short commercial break. We shall be back.
Sammultimedia, Sammultimedia, Sammultimedia. Sammultimedia has come your way with all the printing solutions that you desire. Design and print your quality polo shirts, posters, banners, billboard and vehicle brandings at very affordable prices. Yes, and we deliver on time and at your very doorsteps. No time wasting. We also offer digital printing and large format printing, photo shoot, video editing and many more. We do designs for exercise books and many other designs. At Sammultimedia, excellence in graphics is our #1 priority. You can count us on that. Yes, order for yours now and you will never be disappointed because we're going to give you the very best of the designs. Yes, you can contact us on 0249 885237. We are located at SCC of Malam Kaswa Highway.
Okay, I welcome you all back to the viewpoint. Before we continue, I would like to use the opportunity to thank my sponsors: Sammultimedia, Excellence in Graphic Design, Loaning Africa, Car Art and Modeling Agency, Mega Food, TT Rich Multimedia. Okay, so this is Abuja. As we were saying before we went for the commercial break, we are still talking about the tips for dating, things we need to do before we enter into dating. We said a lot, so I'd like you to tell us more so that we will know some of the things we need to do before we date or we go for a partner. Yeah.
Okay. I would also like to say that our young girls should dress modestly.
Okay.
Because nowadays the dressing of our young girls is not something to write home about. Okay, so our young girls should dress modestly, cover themselves properly. They shouldn't show any part of their vital organs. They should always remember that their bodies are temples of our Heavenly Father. So if you keep yourself modest, you won't have anyone who is not worthy of you coming to ask you for a date.
Yeah.
And then, whoever you're dating or wanting to go out on a date with should be someone who doesn't have vulgar communication, is not involved in vulgar communication. That is also important. Okay? So you're dating someone or you want to go out on a date with someone, make sure he's not someone who just flaps his mouth and says anything that is not supposed to be said as a young guy. Okay? And then you also need to choose the location together where you want to go to.
Okay.
Okay, you could go and watch a movie. Okay, you could go and, you know, together to a church activity. That is part of dating.
Yeah.
Okay, you could just go to a popcorn stand, just buying popcorns. You know, so that is why I said from the beginning, when you want to date, make sure it is inexpensive. Don't go on a date where it looks like the young man is going on a business venture and trying to buy something. It's just a date.
Nowadays, our ladies, when you're dating them, they expect you to take them to expensive places, like maybe to the mall, KFC, buy them like expensive things. Yeah. So like, what will you do in case like your partner is money for those things? What are you going to do?
And that is part of, you know, getting to know who you're dating. Okay? And then dating, when you're dating such people, that is where the sieving and filtering comes in.
Okay.
For example, I want to take a young guy out, or let's assume a young guy wants to take me out, and then I'm demanding him to take me to Chinese restaurants. You know, obviously, as a young guy, probably I don't even have much, I'm not really working.
Yeah.
I'm still under my parents. And I just want to get to know her. And then she wants me to take her to Chinese restaurants. My obvious answer to that would be no. I can't afford it. Because at that time, I need to let her know that that is not why I'm taking her out. And then it informs me also that that is not the kind of girl that I should date. Because if I keep taking her out on dates, then before I know, my bank account will go empty. So it's also filtering and sieving. Like I said, getting to know each other. You have gotten to know her appetite, that she's the expensive type. So you should know what to do, and that should help you.
Okay. So if I may ask, why do you have to date at the first place?
Oh, dating is important. We all have to know each other. We all have to know, the opposite sex, know the how they think, their attitudes, their characters, their likes, their beliefs, and all of that. And then you're dating because someday you want to get married. So you start dating to get to know the opposite sex, to get to know those who are, the happy type of people, those who are the moody type of people, those who don't even joke or laugh at all, those who are miserly, those who are kind, those who are compassionate. So you're getting to know these various people, their attitudes, their behaviors, their beliefs, their principles. You're getting to know all of these things. And that is because someday you want to get married. And all of these things, knowing A and knowing B and knowing, all these various people will help you someday to make informed decisions as to whom at the end of the day you will say yes to.
Okay, I have some questions over here, but before I ask them, I would like us to go for a short commercial break. We shall be right back.
Good people of Ghana, I go by the name Take representing alongside Richmond again. Keep on watching Skybase Network.
Hello viewers, I welcome you all back to the Viewpoint. Before we continue, I'd like to thank my sponsors: Sammultimedia, Excellence in Graphic Design, Lonely Africa, Car Art and Modeling Agency, Richie Multimedia, Mega Foods. Okay, Mr. Abuja, before we continue, I have some questions here from the viewers. This is from Emmanuel Kofi. Won't jealousy crop in when my date find out I am dating someone else? That's from Emmanuel. So won't jealousy crop in?
Very interesting question, and it's one that usually occurs from time to time.
Okay.
You find two young women or two young men fighting over a date.
Yeah.
And that is because they are not well informed about what dating is all about.
Okay.
There is no reason why two young men will be fighting over a woman, or two young women will be fighting over a man when they are just dating. And and that is why dating is there, because you want to know their habits, you want to know their mannerisms, you want to know their tastes, their preferences, and young men and young women should understand that dating is just having a casual relationship with the opposite sex, which could, if well nurtured, lead to courtship,
okay.
Which in turn could also lead to marriage.
Alright.
So attitudes and behaviors are important. There's no reason why two young men or two young women should fight over someone else. There's really no reason for that. And the only reason why they do that is because they are not informed. They don't understand what dating is really all about.
Alright. I have another question over here too. This is from Richmond Tete. He says, so are you saying dating is all about going out with someone and after the relationship ends, or?
It depends, okay? Like I said in the beginning, when a young man or a young woman wants to date, their parents should be informed, so that they get to know who they are with, where they are going to, when they will be back, you know, and then the parents of that child will be informed and will understand where the kids have gone to, and also the kids themselves it will be a check on them. Okay, now when dating, it could be an activity in the church. It could be a talent show in the church. It could be a movie time. It doesn't necessarily have to be spending money. Okay, you could just invite the person home. Oh, my family is going to be having maybe family home evening, or what you call a prayer meeting or gospel time. So I want you to come and be part of it.
Some dinner,
you know, you know, a lunch in the house. So it doesn't always have to be taking that person out somewhere, but it just depends on what is going on at that time and what you people have decided together to do. It could also be probably you have someone who needs help in the neighborhood, and you just have a soft spot for that person and you want to help. So you could invite your date. Oh, I'm going to help that young man or that elderly woman there, and I would like for us to go together. And then you go. Like I said in the beginning, it's always really nice that when you're going out on a date, you have other couples who are also going out on a date, so you go in groups. So that way, it could be going to one person's house and, you know, everybody contributing to cook, and you're in one person's house. You could be watching a movie, you could be playing, you know, games, you could be playing Ludo, but in doing all of these things, you are communicating, you're learning the habits of the person, you're knowing the likes and dislikes of that person, you are knowing the disposition of that person, and that will help you make informed decisions on the kind of person you like. Oh, I like the way he smiles, I like the way he walks, I like the way he handled that issue when we were playing Ludo and the others were cheating. I like the way she comports herself. She's good at cooking, you know, she's good at, you know, house chores. He knows how to do this, he knows how to do that. You are learning skill, you are learning to know the kind of skills that person has or doesn't have, and that helps you. So it's not all about, you know, just I have money, let's go out, let's go and, you know, go to Chinese restaurant or go to ShopRite, let's go and buy one thing or the other. No.
Okay, so like with that, so is it by force to marry the person we are dating? So the person that I'm dating someone now, is it compulsory for me to marry that person?
No, I've never heard that you should marry someone because you are cajoled to
because
do that.
Some people say, okay, I'm dating this lady, so the lady expects me to marry her or see her parents and marry her compulsory because I'm dating her.
No, that's not right. Like I said from the beginning, dating is just getting to know the opposite sex and having casual friendship. So anyone who has the thoughts in mind that I am dating to have a romantic relationship doesn't know what he or she is talking about, because that is not what dating is all about. Okay,
there's another question over here. He said, what if my parents are straight and don't want me to have any friends, any female friends or male friends? So people with that situation, what are they going to do? The parents are very strict to the extent that no friends are supposed to visit them at home. And since there are some children like that, the parents drive them to school, then back home. That's all.
Yes, I think I would want to talk to the parents. You know, gone are those days when parents should be overly strict with their kids. We are in times and in seasons where we have so much communication in terms of videos, the internet, phones and all that. Okay, it's a time now where parents sit with their children and teach them. Like I said, if parents teach their children gospel principles and standards, they won't have any problem with the children, you know, dating the opposite sex. They will have that confidence and that assurance, knowing that my children are well informed, they are well trained, and knowing also that the child will make the right decision and will date someone who has high moral standards. That's the most important thing. Because when parents are overtly too strict, the little opportunity their sons and daughters have, they will misuse it.
It's true, that's true.
They will really misuse it, and then, you know, because my parents are too strict, I can't talk to them. They talk to their friends, they talk to their peers, they listen to what people say out there.
So you see them doing the wrong thing.
And they do the wrong thing. Because some of these young men and young women have not been taught, you know, the proper way to date. Their parents have not stood with them or sat with them to teach them what dating is all about. A lot of them go into sexual exploitations, you know, and either the girl is getting pregnant and the boy is denying it, and probably she's going to have an abortion, or she could lose her life. And on the other hand, the young man that is going into romantic adventure, he has not been taught at home that this is not the appropriate time for you to go into such things. Because for a young boy of 16, 17, 18, 19, dating should just be a casual thing. If they're properly tutored at home, parents spend more time at home with their children to teach them gospel principles and gospel standards. We would have our parents, you know, travel or be at their workplaces and be confident that my child who I send to school or who is at home is doing something that is good, something that is worthwhile, something that doesn't have anything to do with, you know, sexual problems. So parents have a real role, an important role to play when it comes to dating. And instead of being strict, overly strict with their children, they should spend more time teaching and counseling their children so that they understand that there are high moral standards. The gospel is there. They must learn, and that is where the training is. Train your children. Train your children that sex is not for babies. Train them to understand that before they choose to go into sexual exploits, necking and pecking and all the things that are happening around the world today, they should already be in marriage, not even in courtship. You know, we are missing it out because everybody tends to do what the world is doing. This is what we do. That is what is trending. So we also are doing it. My friend's boyfriend is taking me to a nightclub, and from there we are going to spend the night in a hotel. So I want to do that. When parents are overly strict with their children, the children will lie to them, the children will be secretive, and they will not get the truth from them. And when the children are in trouble, because they can't come to their parents, you know, to discuss with them because they know, oh, my daddy is a lion, oh, my mommy is a lioness, I can't talk to them. They go to their friends who don't even know better than them. Or they even go to people who don't even like them. And those are the ones who will put them in trouble. So yes, it is good to be strict. but be strict in a positive way. If you're strict with your daughter, tell your daughter or your son the reason why you don't want him or her to be involved in something. Don't just tell them no and leave it there.
Okay, so just tell them no. You have to listen to them also. Yeah, we'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue with our questions.
Sammultimedia. Sammultimedia has come your way with all the printing solutions that you desire. Design and print your quality polo shirts, posters, banners, billboard and vehicle brandings at very, very affordable prices. Yes, and we deliver on time and at your very doorsteps. No time wasting. We also offer digital printing and large format printing, photo shoot, video editing and many more. We do designs for exercise books and many other designs. At Sammultimedia, excellence in graphics is our #1 priority. You can count us on that. Yes, order for yours now, and you will never be disappointed because we're going to give you the very best of the designs. Yes, you can contact us on 0249 885237. We are located at SCC of Malam Kaswa Highway.
Okay, welcome back, lovely viewers. We are still talking on dating, courtship and marriage. But before we continue, I would like us to thank our sponsors: TT Rich Multimedia, Sounds Multimedia, Learning Africa, Car Arts and Model Agency, Mega Food. Okay, let's continue with our questions, Abuja. There's a question over here. He said, are ladies allowed to take boys out?
Why not?
Okay, but you know, I don't know, but you see, in our country or in this world, ladies expect the guys to be taking them out always.
I also think that the men themselves have allowed it to be so, because when you talk about dating, it could be anyone dating the other. Okay, and the reason why you're doing that is just to get to know the person.
All right.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong in a lady seeing a young guy that she likes and says, let's go out on a date.
Okay.
There's nothing absolutely wrong with that.
Okay, so I have a question here.
Okay.
How do you choose a partner? If I want to choose someone that I want to go out and date with, how do I choose? How do I know that this person is the rightful person for me, or this person is good? What are some of the things I have to do to choose a partner?
Okay. Still based on dating, right?
Yes.
It depends on your preferences and the kind of people you like around you. Okay. You make your choice based on the kind of maybe guys around you or the ladies around you. Like I said before, you want to pick someone or you want to choose someone to date.
Okay.
You should be sure to know that that person that you want to date has high moral standards like you. Okay? He dresses well, he speaks well, he's friendly or she's friendly, they are courteous, and their communication skills is perfect. Okay? And they look good appearance wise, they're properly groomed. No one wants to go out with a crazy person, you know. So those are the things that I believe that should inform your choice of a date.
So is it good to set a standard like, oh, for me, I want a lady who is this, a lady or a guy who is like this, who is maybe, I want a TikTok guy, I want a slim lady, to set that kind of standard for yourself? Well, when you say a partner, is it necessary to set that standard?
As much as the physical appearance is very important, the most important is the spiritual personality of that person in choosing a partner. Now, would you want to choose a young lady or a young man who is handsome, tall, has a car, dresses well, speaks Queen's English? Or you want to date a lady who has, you know, figure 8, you know, she's beautiful, she has all the right things in the right places, like, you know, most men will say, you know? Necessary. Is that what informs your dating choice, or your choice of a partner, or the spiritual aspect of that person? For me, I think that the spiritual supersedes every other thing. You know, I ask a lot of young ladies, what kind of man would you like to marry? Oh, tall and handsome, has a house, has a car,
yes,
you know, they're all good. But, you know, it's not about what they have, because all that they have can just go in the twinkle of an eye. The car can go, the house can go, the job can go. What is he left with? And what are you left with in your choice of a partner? And that is why a lot of relationships are not lasting. That is why people are having breakups, you know, in relationships and marriages. Because when all the things that attracted you, the physical things that attracted you to that person goes away, your love drops.
But that one is very necessary. Because
yes,
you have to go for a lady, and you want a lady with some shoes, some people like, maybe I like fair ladies, someone to say, okay, I like dark ladies. Everyone has his or...
Yes, you have your standard.
Yes.
Fine. But does your standard supersede the spiritual? Now, the person you are dating, you've been communicating with that person. The person you're probably courting, you're communicating with that person. Who is the person? Does the person have any affiliation with God? Is the person truly spiritual, not just a church goer? Does the person make you feel good about yourself? Or is the person the kind of person that when you are around him or her, all you people do is talk about sex, romance, and all that? If you are going for that kind of person, who all you people think about is, oh, when I see him, I feel goosebumps. You are making the wrong choice.
Okay, so like this topic is very broad. When we want to talk about it, we will not finish today.
That's true.
So like, I'd like you to summarize everything so that like, we will meet again same time next week and we'll talk more on it, since we are talking on dating, courtship and marriage. But we're talking about dating now. This is only about dating. So when we meet again, we can move to the next one. So I'd like you to tell the viewers something, summarize everything for us so that we can end it here.
Okay, I would like to say that dating is a good thing to do. It is good to have casual relationships with other people of the opposite sex and get to know them, get to know their habits, their likes, their preferences and all that, and get to know their future plans, you know, their skills and everything. I mean, you're going out with a lady on a date, you want to know certain things about her. Is she not just friendly? Is she homely? Would she like to marry someday? Would she like to have children? The man that you are dating, probably someday, is he going to want to be a good husband and provide for his family, be a good father to his children? These are some of the things you want to know. Will he be spiritual, or will he be the worldly type who feels that, or she feels that, if I'm in a relationship today, it's not working for me, I can get out of it and get into another one. So parents also have a major role to play. And I think parents should learn more about dating so that they can also teach their children, so that we can have, you know, good, well-informed relationships that will last longer. Thank you so much.
Okay, lovely viewers, this is where we end our show for today. If you're watching us on YouTube, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click on the bell icon for notification, and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, also at Skybase Network. Same time next week, we'll be here.
Selected. Okay. Koku night. Mom saying kuno. Swear. Wake up. Oba, see me just so. Oda me warm isi mani so. Esha me boto, mauti so. Me do betre busu esha mchoko. Against the fire, omon kocho. Ebra na mi so na me fro me do. Ahu ofefo, odo fufro. Obi ani wachi me cho me do. Swear. If you want me to die, I go die, yeah. If you want me to go, I go go, yeah. If you want me to die, I go die, yeah. If you want me to go.
SBN TV, quality news, entertainment, and more.